Alright guys, we're about to start Final Jeopardy, and which the category was inaugural addresses. And the answer was, in his fourth inaugural address, he told us, "Today we work and fight for total victory in war," and I do not know this, but good thing it didn't weigh too much.
Alright, let's see how everyone did.
Okay, let's see how one did.
Your question, player 2. That's right.
Delano Roosevelt. He wagered everything.
Your question, player 1. No, I'm sorry. What's that going to cost you?
Just only 1,000.
Your question, player 3. No, I'm sorry.
So looks like player 2 wins it. No, player 3 is still the winner. Okay.
Congratulations to our big winner.
Oh well.
Player 3.
That's okay. I'll do a redemption for this game. Nonetheless.
Thanks for playing Jeopardy. Come back and see us again real soon, won't you? Hi, I'm Johnny.
And
let's set things up.
Just for the fun of it, let's look at the behind-the-scenes clips of how this game is made. Let's go to the green room and talk to contestant coordinator Suzanne Thurber. So we bring the mountain to Muhammad.
Well, what we do is we try to go on the road a lot because we don't want people to have to come to LA just to take the test, because roughly only about 10 to 15% of the people in a room of approximately 75 pass the test. So we try to get to all different areas so that people can come and try out a lot closer than, coming to LA.
Best part of the job?
Two things. I love the travel. I love being able to travel. And I think meeting so many people from different walks of life. I mean, they come in here when they're taping the show, and we have people from all different occupations, locales, and you learn a lot about them. It's real interesting to hear them.
Funny. Nobody ever asks why they call it the green room.
They ask you all the kind of questions. What happens if I sneeze on the air? What happens if I can't get in on the buzzer?
Me, a good contestant?
I would make a wonderful contestant as far as understanding how to play the game, when to ring in, answering the form of a question, but giving the right answers, I don't know if I would be nearly as good. That's where I would fall down.
Now let's go to the green room and talk to director Kevin McCarthy. How long ago?
I mean, I started on this show so long ago. I was young when I started on this show, and that was 1984, the first year I was the booth AD, and I edited the first season. And then I went back to Merv Griffin's show, who created it, for a year. And then 1986 came back here permanent. In 1991, I think, I started directing. Basically from the beginning.
Love those away games.
You go on the road and you see 4,500 people going crazy for Alex or crazy for a certain contestant. You feel proud of what you're doing.
It's not for the faint of heart.
I think the more aggressive you are on this show, the better off you are. You can't wait till the answer pops in your mind. You've got to say, history, I'm good at this. He reads the question, you ring in, and then you've got to have the presence of mind and the coolness to just pull it out of the air, give the answer, and go on to the next one.
Alex is the man.
He loves what he's doing. He's great with the contestants. He calms them down when they need calming down, and he gets them a little excited when they need to be excited. He's like an arbitrator out there. He's impartial, but he wants the show to be great every night.
Now let's go to the production offices, and we'll talk to executive producer Harry Freeman. It's all about the writing.
The core of Jeopardy is the writing, and fortunately I have co-producers and head writers, a wonderful staff of writers and researchers who are responsible for the heart and soul of the show, which is the game material itself.
Jeopardy, coming soon to an auditorium near you.
We've been to New York. We've got other remotes in the works. That seems to have energized the show quite a bit.
The host with the most.
Alex Trebek brings credibility to the show, not only in the way in which he hosts it, but by virtue of the fact that he cares so much about the integrity of the show and is such a professional that I think that comes through in his performance.
To expect the unexpected.
That's one of the things we always have to be aware of, is that there could be some other answer out there that could be right, that we're not aware of, even with all the research that we do. We will stop tape, we'll research their answer, and just like in baseball, well, where all ties go to the runner, in this case, all ties go to the contestant. We're always looking out to rule in favor of the contestant whenever possible.
Now let's talk to writers Jim Ryan and Gary Johnson. A Jeopardy writer's qualifications.
You have to be well-rounded. You have to be interested in a wide variety of things, and everything from history to sports to what's on today, the cover of today's LA Times.
My favorite category?
I think it was dead celebrities, but they wouldn't let me do that one. So yeah, but we'll get that in one day.
My favorite category, part 2.
We had one called Dr. Seuss Meets the Bard, and we had different quotes from Shakespeare as if Dr. Seuss had actually written them, and I thought that was quite amusing. Got a lot of laughs anyway.
We're talking dream job.
The best part of my job is that every day is an adventure, and I don't have to join the Navy for it to be an adventure. Everything we do is exciting, and anything you're interested in can become material to put in the show. There's not an area we won't go to and be interested in as part of the job.
Alright, now let's go to the dressing room and talk to host Alex Trebek. I'm not really one for sitting around.
I came to the United States in 1973 to host a show called Wizard of Odds, and I've been very fortunate since then to have been gainfully employed most of the time.
I wish I had a couple an interesting story about how I got the job, but basically it goes something like this.
I had hosted Wheel of Fortune for a period of 1 week to replace an ailing Chuck Woolery, who was the regular host at that time. And I did that for the Merv Griffin people. And I guess they remembered me, and when they brought back Jeopardy into syndication in 1984, they called me and said, look, we're going to bring back this old game show called Jeopardy. Would you like to host it? And I said, yeah, sure, it's a great show.
Be all that you can be.
My job as the host is to provide an atmosphere in which the contestants can do their very best. It's like that U.S. Army commercial, be all you can be. We want our contestants to be all they can be. We want them to do well. We want them to win a lot of money.
A typical day.
Well, I come in early on tape day. We usually tape 2 days a week, and we'll do 3 weeks on, 1 week off, that kind of thing. I will start at about 8 o'clock in the morning going over the 5 games that we will be taping that day. I look at all of the material, all of the clues. If there are words that I'm not familiar with, I look them up in dictionaries. If there are foreign words, I ask our researchers to help me with those.
Well, unfortunately, we cannot see the rest of Alex's interview because it says we have to win a game of Jeopardy. So we'll do that another time. So we'll do that if we win our redemption. But for the time being, let's go to the stage and talk to stage manager John Lauderdale. It's Who You Know.
I met some of the celebrities, including Clint Eastwood and Merv, and from meeting these people, I ended up expressing an interest that I wanted to come to Hollywood and work.
Think of me as the crew wrangler.
There are certain responsibilities that the stage manager does by making sure all those elements are in place, looking at that schedule, and when it comes time to tape a show, make sure that everybody is in its place. And I get on my headset and I can tell the director, I say, hey, we're ready, let's go.
Be the buzzer.
Now, the lockout device can be your best friend or it could be your worst enemy. If it's your best friend, you see that there are people who operate that button with such ease, and they manage to get in all the time.
Laid back is good.
The more relaxed a person is on stage, the better they seem to do out there.
Now let's talk to announcer Johnny Gilbert, the hardest working man in show business.
My career in show business started a long time ago when I was about 17. Started out as a singer, professional singer, and traveled for years with that. Then I did a stint in the Army in Special Services, and that was also in show business. And then I went to New York in 1960 and been doing television ever since.
The secret to Johnny's golden vocal cords revealed here for the very first time.
I worked as a professional singer for several years, and That helped me an awful lot, by the way, in television, because I studied with a classical singing teacher, and that helped me with the breathing and how to use the voices.
It always seems like I worked on every successful game show ever made.
I did The Price is Right with Bill Cullen. Did several different shows there, one with Burt Parks, then called Yours for a Song. And then I worked with Dick Clark on the $25,000 Pyramid, John Davidson on the $100,000 Pyramid. Did the Dinah Shore program for 8 years. And, of course, Circus of the Stars and People's Choice Awards. And I've been doing a show for the last several years that the kids really love called Supermarket Sweep, along with Jeopardy.
Those darn computers are everywhere.
The original Jeopardy, for instance, they had people standing behind the board raising cards to reveal the responses. And now we have about 9 different computer systems that run the show.
And guys, that's going to do it. That is it. So we're going to get out of this game. And while we do that, I'm going to go ahead and sign up. And I'll see y'all in my redemption video with this game coming soon. See you guys.